Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. Before we get started, I do want to just kind of give a shout out to Jen and Scott, friends of mine, who happen to be in Ireland, and they happen to be very near a certain island called Skellig Michael, and they happen to find this shirt, Skellig Wars. If you look at it closely, you can see it's got a little bit of a Vader head along with some puffins. Not porgs, as they are seen in The Last Jedi, but puffins, because that's what originally is on the island. And they took some great photos, and they sent them to me, and then they were nice enough. I just asked them if they had any like brochures or anything about it to bring something back, which they did. But then they also gave me the shirt, which was very kind. Thank you guys. You're awesome. So anyway, moving on. What a weird week it has been. What a weird few days. Between Solo, A Star Wars Story, not doing as well in the box office as everyone would have hoped, which is an ironic thing because it really is a good movie, and it's not just me saying that. There's a lot of people that very much enjoyed it. It was just a fun thrill ride of a movie. Now many of you might disagree. There might be parts of the movie you didn't like, things in the story that you weren't happy the way they went. But it was, I don't think anybody walked away not liking at least some parts of it, like a good portion of it. It was just a lot of fun, as I've said in previous episodes. But the other thing is just a lot of the hate talk back and forth on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. Mostly Twitter and Instagram, that kind of thing. And my own 2 cents is just I just try to fill my little tiny itsy bitsy corner of the interweb with as much positivity as I can. I'm not going to comment on people. There have very rarely been a lot of hate speak or negative talk aimed at my channel because we don't have that many viewers. But those that do happen, most of the time it's more matter of fact. I just didn't like The Last Jedi. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. And I say, well, I respectfully disagree, but thank you for sharing your opinion and for watching the show. And that's how, and it ends. Nothing else happens. So I encourage people to be as rather than be vicious with each other, just kind of stop the conversation. Sorry, my little wrist force link is acting up. So that's all I'm gonna say. Take a cue out of some of my favorite podcasts like Skywalking Through Neverland. Shout out to Richard and Sarah Woloski. Also to Star Wars Action News, not something I mention as often, but they've been trying to get a hashtag out there, Force Out Hate, and I appreciate the efforts by them and other people to just try to be a little more positive, and that's what I try to do. So, but we're not here to talk about that stuff. We're here to talk about Star Wars, and we're here to talk about specifically the Han Solo Landspeeder seen at the very beginning of Solo. In addition, we have a 2-pack with Lando and the Kessel guard, as well as 2 more Matchbox. I'm sorry. Not Matchbox. Hot Wheels character cars: Lando Calrissian and Han Solo. So we'll get to all of them. I think I want to start small. So why don't we start with our 2 character cars. I've been loving the character cars. I've been loving them. I do notice that Hot Wheels is starting to branch out into trying to do other things. I have picked up a few of those. I've done unboxings with them. But my main focus, I think, is going to be the character cars. I just think that they're really cool. I'm not a huge car enthusiast, but I like a good, sleek, fun, smart, fancy-looking car, things that you see at... I think my parents, my father used to take my brother and I to a big car show in Atlantic City, so we always kind of saw a lot of cars. He did have some, he owned a vintage, and I mean vintage, like 1917, like paddy wagon kind of car that he restored. And, so there's always been a little bit of love of the classic cars in our family. So these are kind of really cool. And I like the idea, though, that I like about... these character cars is that we've already had, I think, a Lando. I think we've had one. This is a different one. This is a completely different car. I mean, the chassis might be similar, but the whole look of it is very different. And again, I'll insert, if I haven't already done so, I'll insert some close-ups, and you can see. But they use the back of Lando's, the back of his, I guess his trunk area to kind of create the image of a cape. And what I really love is on the front, on the hood, they put this little black, almost triangular piece as if it was his scarf or his unfolded shirt tucked open like that. I think that's really cool. And of course, it's got the yellow. And yeah, I think the scarf is more on the side. The scarf is definitely the detailing on the side. So really cool, very sleek. This is a car I'd buy. I mean, I would love to have this car. Plus, it's got that 70s vibe. You know, the big boat of a car with the full back seat and the full front seat. You know, just a great thing. I miss that about cars, like, you know, the old fashioned. Now everything's like bucket seats. Everything is like you're seated in one area. So I like that. I think adding Lando to that kind of car is great. Next up, we got Han Solo character car. First appearance of Han Solo character car. I like that they made a different model. They did something different. And I like what they did here with kind of how they set it up is you've got a what looks like the edge of his blaster kind of sticking out the front, almost like a vent, you know. You've got his you know, almost like, I want to say like one side of it has like the kind of bubble seat, you know, like Batman and Robin, they each had their own. This has one, and the window is reminiscent of the Falcon. I love that attention to detail. Even on the back side of his the rear part of the car, on top, there is a little tiny red and blue or red and black insignia that he has. I think that's so cool. And you can see his where the front little vent is, looks like a gun barrel. It's got the straps for his belt buckle and belt strap. That's fantastic. And again, just like Lando, on the side, you got the detailing. That's his pinstripes, okay, from his pants. So you just look at this, and even the back, you know, it's hard to make out. I'll try to get some close-ups of this. Even the back has a little detailing, almost reminiscent of the Falcon, you know, blasting off like the jets coming out, and the light cannons coming out of the back. So that's really, really cool. All right, so awesome job, Hot Wheels, on that. I love that. I hope they still keep making them. They're fantastic. All right, now we're moving on to the 2-pack. Kessel Guard and Lando Calrissian. Okay, interesting that they put those two together because there really wasn't any interaction between the Kessel Guard and Lando Calrissian other than the Kessel Guards shooting the cannon and Lando working to try to get them. So I guess that makes sense. But love that whole scene. Love that whole Kessel, Spice Mines of Kessel escape, droid revolution. By the way, hopefully you've seen it by now. Although I don't think a lot of you have seen it because, you know, it's still not. Although I love how people. This is something I'm just going to vent for a second here. You know, they're calling it a flop. That's what they're calling Solo: A Star Wars Story, a flop. And I do understand it in terms of comparison to the last 3 Star Wars movies and every other Star Wars movie to come out. But I also find it interesting that most movies won't even come close. I mean, very good movies that might be Oscar contenders, will never come close to what Solo has already made right now. You know, and it's sad that a studio, or more importantly, the media, would call a movie a flop that's, you know, well over 200 million globally. And I don't think it's done yet. I think it's going to creep up a little bit more, so we'll see. And I also will be very curious to see what happens in video releases, too, because I think that this might be one of those things that people just kind of pulled the plug and said, well, I just saw Avengers, I got Incredibles coming, I got this movie, that movie. Maybe I'll wait on this one until it comes out on digital. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. All right, so you got Lando, and I think at the moment this might be the only way to get Lando in 3 3/4 inch format. Wow, this I just realized that there is a lot that comes with this. We have Lando's gun. That and again, thank you Hasbro for the wonderful addition of a holster, because the way I display my characters, since they, you know, and again we talked about this, I do appreciate and applaud the 5-point of articulation. I do like it, as long as we have other options. But having said that, they're not really much, not too easy to pose. So I just basically put them, you know, just straight up. But you can take off his. Oh, it looks like the scarf and the cape are kind of connected, which is good. One less thing to lose. And then you got Han here, Okay, looking really good. Again, I'll get you some close-ups. All right, so you get an idea. All right, good job. Nicely done, Hasbro. Good likeness for a 3 3/4 inch. They're not using the scanning technology. Oh, and of course, we have, there we go. Let's see what Lando sounds like.
Hey there. I go by Lando. I'm too young and too good to retire. Everything you heard about me is true.
Okay.
Yeah! Cargo freighter. That's a Corellian YT-1300. Smoothest ship in the galaxy. I'm too young and too good to retire.
I like when they add lines that we didn't hear.
Everything you heard about me is true.
I like that they do that. I think that's really fun. So, yay Lando, okay, really cool. This seems to be working well now that we got the update finally installed. Alright, so let's check out the Kessel run. He's got a lot going on here. You got the figure. You have what I believe is the tripod to carry the cannon. Oh my, it's like putting the Legos together here. Alright, so let's just take a quick peek at what this looks like in the back. Alright. We got this. We got weapon accessory. Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness. I think my lighting here is not that great, but yeah, I'm not quite sure. Oh, I see. This gets put here. All right, and there are our things. Okay, cool. All right, not too hard. It's pretty straight out. Pretty cool. I like the extra accessories. You know, I remember back in the day that we had to buy a mini rig for those old school people. That might be my age, might remember mini rigs. You got a cannon. You had to go out and buy the cannon as a mini rig. So to have it now just be part of it, of an actual figure or 2-pack, I think is kind of nice. All right, so you got to set that up. All right, and then he's got his little spear. And let's see what we got going with this guy. Okay. Okay. He's a creature of few words. So I guess that's good. I'm not quite sure. I don't think this has anything. No, probably not. I think maybe the sounds, now that I think about it, might have been geared more towards the cannon itself. You know, the cannon and the spear, so he could like do fighting. Okay, I gotta say a little bit of a complaint. This thing is very hard to kind of position because this hose thing, it's so bulky that it actually like knocks the thing down. So, but if you just kind of position your character right in front of it, you should be in good shape for that. All right, so that's all right. So there you go. All right, nice little 2-pack there, Lando and this guy. You can set up a nice little diorama when you get that Falcon, that added Falcon. I think I'm up to like, I have 1, 2, 3. I think that'll be 4. That'll be a 5th Falcon. 5 Falcons. Not a lot of room for Falcons, so you know, I'm still debating, but I'll probably end up getting it just because it's the new Falcon. It's the minty fresh, brand new Falcon, and it has. Oh, and I love the blow away panels and stuff. It makes me think of like some of the toys, some of the vintage Star Wars toys with breakaway action back in the 80s. So that's kind of cool. All right, Han's Landspeeder, which includes Han Solo, young Han Solo, or you know, flashback Han Solo, or whatever you want to call it. Action figure. And again, ooh, and yeah, I gotta say, thank you Hasbro for pretty much you know, releasing a toy that's essentially already put together. It's not that I don't like putting them together. I do. There's a fun aspect to that, but every now and then it's just nice, especially when it's something like a Landspeeder. It's not like, you know, a playset or something. It's just nice to open it up and there it is. You know, it's not something you have to go nuts with. Although it does look like there is something here. Now I'm seeing that looks like Han does not have a holster. That's kind of weird. The holster, do they, don't they? It's kind of a thing. But the Han figure, really nice. Okay. Again, I'll get you some close-ups. But I like it. I like the kind of like that he's in a vest. You know, I enjoy that. I enjoy that he's kind of got that little throwback to the New Hope one the New Hope one. Oh.
Hey there. I go by Lando Calrissian.
Lando, it was not your turn to talk. You were talking out of turn. Let me just get this. I'm not quite sure what this is. I will find out in a moment. One critique about the design of of Solo was by a very talented artist by the name of Paul Bateman, who's a professional in the industry, and he was also the person who is kind of the keeper of the Ralph McQuarrie art, and he was friends with him, and he kind of helped sell some of his books towards the end of his life. Okay, so what? Oh, I see. Okay, and one of the things that he had said was that this, and he might have also referred to. Just checking out this. Okay. Oh, I see. He might have also been referring to Rogue One a little bit too, but I think in the case of this one, he was talking a lot about the boxiness. The boxiness of it. And I think you think you can definitely see. I mean, there it is. It's a rectangle. Here, looking at shape, it's a rectangle, okay? It's everything about it is basically just a box, okay? So I get that. I definitely get that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I have a Kira action figure. I think I'm going to try to. I'm going to put Kira in here as well. But all right. So this has a little action feature. Okay. All right. Now, first of all, pick up the. All right. So pick up vehicle to activate. You can hear the sounds moving. I love how they got some old school sounds in there. Tap force link. Alright, cool. Now, then it has... Alright, so then it has a... Oh, so when you're in front, if you... Oh, I see. This is the front of this is, you know, this is all plastic like normal, but then this has kind of a rubbery feel to it. So I think what happens if you hit it... Let's try that again. See if I can get... let me try this here. Hold on. We have an ejectable figure, but I'm going to keep his arms up so they don't get in the way. Come on, guys. Let's go, Han. Get in there. Working on it. I'll try to... Interesting. Let's see here. How do we... Oh, wait. Oh, that's why. Okay. It's got like an ejector seat kind of thing going. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Oh. And he just activated the Kessel guard. Okay. Cute feature. I don't know if I really feel that it's you know, all that necessary, but you know, it's okay. Let's see what this.
I'm done with taking orders. How did I get into this mess? That wasn't the plan. How did I get into this mess? That wasn't the plan. How did I get into this mess? Let's deal with these guys fast. Nothing beats a good blaster. Let's deal with these guys fast. Nothing beats a good blaster.
So, I'm gonna reach out to to David W. Collins, who you might have seen on, he's sometimes hosting some of the Star Wars events in Disney, the red carpet premiere. That sounds like his Han Solo voice, because he's done Han Solo for like some fan made radio dramas, and it sounds really good. So I'm gonna ask him, because that sounds a lot like him. But anyway, so overall, really a lot of fun. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not like miserable about it. I'm just a little disappointed that there's no wheels on the bottom, like with the little slight spring, like the ancient vintage Landspeeder did, because that was really cool when it came to being able to move it along. Right? I mean, although I guess with the flat piece you can do the spin a lot easier, which is kind of neat. But you really couldn't do that if the wheels were there. So I'll give that one. It's good. But overall, really cool piece. I know they made a Lego version of this as well, which I may get. There's also the other speeder that was chasing them. I might get that one too. So really, really cool. So awesome job. Again, great movie. If you haven't seen it, don't wait for it to come out. Okay, go see it. Go see the movie. And if you don't know Star Wars that well, don't worry about it. Okay, meaning if you're someone who knows it, but you're not like, obviously if you're watching this channel, I would think that you know Star Wars. But I mean, if you know somebody, if you know people that are on the fence, it kind of stands alone. You just got to know who Han Solo is. You got to know who the character is, and who Chewbacca is. That they're ingrained in pop culture, so you can kind of see the origin story, and it's a lot of fun. So go see it. Toys are great, figures are great. I love the new Force Link upgrades. Fantastic. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram at Darth Tuba. But Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. Email me darthtuba77@gmail.com. By the way, as of the recording of this video, Hungarian Jedi Nation, wherever you are, Hungarian Jedi Nation, you won the dice. But I need a contact, so email me darthtuba77@gmail.com. Get me your address, and I will mail them out. Alright, so until next time, guys, thank you so much. Go see Solo before it leaves theaters, and may the Force be with you.